We are back and ready for the next series. Alright, hello everybody. Again, I am Plur Ninja. I just recently started casting for NGS, Nexus Gaming Series. You can catch them at nexusgamingseries.org. It is a wonderful organization that brings together a bunch of players for the Heroes of the Storm community, get some competitive games going, get that practice with your teams, and we have some wonderful casters, wonderful background workers of this team. It's a wonderful organization, and if anybody wants to donate to it, it's definitely a worthy cause. So next up here we have Tiny Dancers versus Boogan Squad. Looks looks like, again, since this is a replay cast, I will be going into the replay and just commenting on what's going on and allowing you as the viewers to be able to see the games that were not casted. So how did we get here? Let's see. Oh good, it did work. I did swap it over to the other team, and now looks like it's good. Again, like I said, because we do not, this is a replay, I do not know for sure which team picked or first picked, so I just have a blue pick on each of the maps that were selected. And we, as you can see here, we have Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen banned out by Tiny Dancers. Alterac Pass and Infernal Shrines banned out by Boogan Squad. And then whichever team first picked the map, they chose Dragonshire. And let's see. Let's get that replay up and running and ready. We are good to go. Alright, on the left side with Tiny Dancers, we have AG Silver AG on the Artanis, we have Liddell on the Johanna, Feldroth on the Rainer, Materium on the Anduin, and Fishing Queen on the Li Ming. On the right side, on Boogan Squad, we have Bummernot on ETC, Camp Belez on the, is that the Mephisto? Yes, and then Non-Champion on Sylvanas, Tempiece on the Samuro, and I'll get better at this. Thundercats on the Ana. Looks like red team is actually going to be starting this up pretty early with a spicy well kill. This is going to make the top laner's life kind of hellish at the start. But ETC might actually be in trouble for this, but he does end up manage to get out okay. A lot of traded damage, but they did end up getting that, securing that well. Figured with Sylvanas they were going to go for a tower cheese, but that was definitely something different. This is going to make Artanis' job against Samuro a little bit harder. However, I think that lane is favored by the Artanis because it is Dragonshire and they need to get that point protection. The team is fully in control of these mid lane rotations, however. ETC face checking that bush, but it was only a Johanna. Nothing too crazy to worry about. The team is actually going to be invading this camp. It looks like red team is getting in position to return the favor. And it looks like they're going to fight over this. This is going to be a big one. ETC is already extremely low, but so is Johanna. Johanna actually gets pulled out of there, but they do end up securing the camp because of the ETC slide got him off there long enough. That was an excellent camp steal there. Didn't result in much as the red team just kills it immediately, but it does give them time to secure this objective. Samuro does actually get the call up top, so it's fairly even at this point with one for each team. Blue team is going for their camp to try to get the pressure so that they can keep control on this bottom lane. Sylvanas is in mid just soaking it up. We've got huge trades going on up here. Samuro is taking a lot of damage, but Artanis is actually forced off of the point. Does not want to take too much trade value there. So blue team is in control in the bottom, red team is in control in the top. Sylvanas has that entire wave pushed in and looks like that's going to be a lot of experience. We'll see if Rainer can get in there. Looks like he can get at least 3 of those globes from the ranged minions, which is plenty to get at least half the wave. Li Ming trying to get a lot of damage onto these towers early on, hoping that some enemies will walk into them. Rainer now has his own push in mid and is actually trying to stall out the Sylvanas from getting to there. She does take a lot of damage for it, but manages to get the majority of that wave. Johanna is taking a lot of damage in the bottom lane. ETC going in for that slide and is able to hold them in place. But oh, the Mephisto actually gets the Li Ming. She actually walked the wrong direction into his W. Got some trades going back and forth, keep making everybody walk away. Looks like Artanis was able to get control of that top lane just in time, as red team now has full control of this bottom lane. Nobody's going in mid just yet, but Sylvanas is going to try to catch those waves. Samuro now contesting the top objective, but Artanis actually swaps him off of the point. Meanwhile, we still got trading going on down below. Li Ming is taking quite a bit of damage from the Sylvanas, but is able to get the waves okay. Oh, the Johanna pulls everybody in, but Raynor is in a terrible spot. Gets saved by the Anduin though, so nothing bad comes of it. Red team now controls both waves, but Li Ming is there in the middle to prevent anything from happening. They're trying to keep control of these points while, as long as they can. But Li Ming's just gonna make that not work too well. Raynor takes a lot of damage there. They do have to back off a bit. Give a chance for Anduin to heal up, but they're taking so much damage from this Mephisto. He's getting so much W value. Slide onto the Raynor. He's taking more damage again, and he does end up going down this time. The Johanna couldn't do anything there. She was slept and then gets blown up right afterwards. Not even enough time to press her own trait. With Sylvanas here, this tower push is going to be very difficult, especially with Anduin sleeping on the job. Li Ming is still protecting mid though, so they aren't able to get this objective, but nobody's going for it. They're just trying to push as hard as they can. We still have a wave here, and another wave is coming in, so they're trying to get as much damage onto this fort as possible, but the blue team is coming back up, and they are coming down. Artanis does go into the middle to free that up with Li Ming in the top lane for some reason. She is able to get quite a bit of damage onto him. And with Artanis coming up now as well, we could have a pretty good swap here. Oh, into the corner as well. What an amazing swap there. That could have been the end of it if Samuro wasn't so elusive. Both teams going for their siege camps now. Blue team does have control, but Mephisto is able to stop that from happening. Artanis is now here to try to protect them, but Mephisto is having none of it. Now both teams are here, but it looks like Samuro's going top, so blue team needs to get it now here. But she goes to sleep, and Samuro's going to be able to cancel that out with Mephisto doing so much damage to the enemy team. This W build is really paying off for him. Oh my goodness, she barely gets out of there with a little bit of a life left, but Raynor is now in a terrible situation. He does end up dodging the W from the ETC, cues himself out of there, and doesn't even take any damage. He's just, yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sylvanas here getting healed up, getting ready to go back into there. Raynor is now asleep, and we're gonna get a slide into a lot of burst damage. These Ana darts are just on point, and the team knows exactly how to follow up on a good dart. They're very solid about holding all of their damage for the right amount of CC. Oh my goodness, that is going to be a mosh pit in front of two cannon towers, but it doesn't even matter. Li Ming ends up going down, and he does walk away okay. That results in a good Dragon Knight for the red team. They have a full wave here to push with it. Johanna does do a lot to remove that wave, but it looks, and they're even tanking up the shots so that the dragon can get as much in as possible. Looks like they're going to take this wall, and are they going to keep pushing? Yes, it looks like it. They do not want to opt to rotate. Sylvanas is already working on that bottom wave, trying to get that tower down as well. They're going for a 2-tower strategy here. Those cannon shots are really harking on that objective, though. They have plenty of time left, but there's almost no health on this Dragon Knight left. They are trying to go back down into the bottom lane with a double sleep dart and a slide into both of them, and oh my goodness, that damage. I believe that was a haunting arrow follow-up to all of that. Light Bomb comes out and does get two. Mephisto is in a lot of trouble, but Johanna's actually the one that ends up going down. Mephisto goes down from the Artanis in the back. Well, there's a lot of damage on the back line of the blue team, but they're getting healed up okay, so looks like they're going to be okay, and red team does end up getting out of there. Boogan Squad and Tiny Dancers. I need to use team names more than colors. Okay. So the map is a pretty stalemate at this point. We're getting a wave in mid coming pushed in, but that's going to get picked up. Sylvanas going on to their bruisers, but I don't think she'll be able to do that alone too easily. They are going for their siege as well, but looks like she's getting through it pretty okay. She is going to start taking some chunk damage here. Nothing that Ana can't just heal up for her. We've got the siege camp going okay. They do end up timing these together. Artanis was not there in time and misses the swap. So they go ahead and just clear up these siege cannons. Unfortunately, the sleep dart was on point, but the Mephisto ult did miss. It was a little bit too preemptive on that. So it's going to be one ult down. It's not a huge lot. And then that swap comes in, and then a follow-up stun with a light bomb stun as well, but he's still alive somehow. Anduin actually pulls the Li Ming out from the ETC's grips, and Artanis is actually taking a lot of damage here. Everybody does walk away. Both teams giving each other the respect that they believe they deserve. Red team is going for the bottom camp now. Objectives are up. Raynor is soaking top. Expect to see Artanis go there at some point. With ETC going there, that definitely gives away their camp position. It looks like they are going back in, and they do get the Mephisto ult onto 2, doing a lot of damage there, but Sylvanas is in a very bad situation. ETC trying to do as much peel as possible, but he's getting extremely low, and that's a huge orb going into both of the members with a light bomb following up. Light bomb wasn't even needed on the ETC, but the Mephisto does end up getting away from it. If he would have gotten caught in that, he would have felt the same fate. So now blue team has very good control and is going to look to get a Dragon Knight of their own. Let's see how much they can do with it. Unfortunately, the last Dragon Knight wasn't able to get either forts. They did get quite a bit of pressure. Looks like this is going to be an easy fort wall going down to this Dragon Knight. He's going to try to take down this keep as well. Sylvanas trying to put as much damage in as possible, but she's standing on the flames and taking a lot of damage, gets kicked back herself. They do end up getting this middle fort. Looks like they're going to try to rotate to get bottom. Oh, he's actually going to the top lane. Going to return the favor for that stealing of the well. He's not happy about that. Payback. Red team's going to take that as the hint that they should just go in and try to secure this fort. They do get the sleep onto the Johanna, but they don't feel confident enough to follow that up with all of their CC, and then the Ana actually goes down from an amazing light bomb, locking her in place. She was just not in the right position for that. Red team did not respect the rotations of Boogan did not respect the rotations of Tiny Dancers. Looks like they are going to try and get more push into this bottom lane. Johanna tanking those shots as long as she can. They do manage to get all of that fort. I think that was very well done. We've got deny this camp from the team, keep up that pressure, get as much presence on the map as possible. At some point, top fort actually did end up going down. I don't even know when that happened, but looks like Samuro is doing Samuro things. I've actually quite enjoyed him recently. I started playing him after I started being like, okay, fine, I'll try Blade Master. I've always thought his wave clear was lacking, so, you know, getting the ult to help with that. Which it does look like he went with the same as well. ETC might be getting caught out here, but he's just tanky enough to be able to make it not matter. Does end up taking more damage. Goes in with the swap, but does slide out, and we've got a Mephisto ult going in, and it was not positioned very well. He teleports in, but gets stunned, so he couldn't position correctly for a good orb. Oh, that orb is huge and does so much damage, and there's going to be the mosh pit, but it does get denied, and he does go down for it. So now, without a tank, the blue team is going to be looking to push this with the bottom siege camp to see how much they can get out of this. If they can get these keep walls, that'll be opening up a win condition for them later on if they can get this next objective. Another sleep onto the Rainer. It seems the tower shots don't wake him up. Okay. Another good sleep dart, but not much to follow up on. Oh, they do get the Mephisto ult, and wow! He takes a lot of damage from that, but is able to get out okay. His ult doing just enough to blind and keep the basic attacks off. The team is going to be going for that bottom camp now, trying to get as much control as possible. Alright. Red team's just going to be able to clear that up pretty easily. They are going to go in. Rainer's trying to get the objective top, so but the rest of the team is down in bottom to try to prevent them from taking this back. But they're not going to be able to stay much longer as the entire red team is here. They did get the Mephisto ult, and they're going to prevent the capture of this dragon. ETC in a lot of trouble here with a lot of CC being followed up on. He gets swapped again and is now in a bad position. Takes a huge orb to the face. Oh my gosh, another orb, but he does end up walking away. Samuro tries to go into the back and help keep them off. It does work just long enough, but the Rainer does end up sneaking that Dragon Knight in. Samuro's trying to get as much damage onto it as possible. Looks like they're going to opt for the middle keep towers at this moment. They do have the bottom keep open, but they want to try to open up this map as much as possible. These towers can be a nightmare if you do not deal with them. Sylvanas is getting pretty risky, but she does end up booted out of there. Another well is going down. These teams do not seem to like having the other team have wells. Sylvanas is getting booped away again to try to keep the damage off of this Dragon Knight, and it looks like they are going to get this tower, this keep down. They do not have the bottom wave push, so they can't follow it up quite as easily. They are going to try to get rid of this minion wave and wait for their own to arrive. Trying to fake out rotations. Looks like they're ready to go in. They only have 14 seconds left on this Dragon Knight. Tower shots are doing a lot of damage. They are going to get quite a bit of chunk into it. The minion wave is here, but it was a bit late. They did run out of time. They're going for a big swap possibly, but didn't actually get anything. The ETC is taking so many hits from all of these orbs. The Mephisto ult does land, but the Anduin is able to save them, and they do manage to get that keep. There was enough minions there and not enough wave clear to deal with that. Boogan Squad is doing a lot of damage, but they haven't been able to be in full control of this map. Samuro has been able to do a lot of work, but the rest of the team has only been in response to what Tiny Dancers have been doing. Looks like they're trying to take advantage of this camp. They don't have any actual real advantage here. It's a pretty even fight, so if Boogan can catch any of them out, looks like both teams are actually going to go ahead and walk away. They do have a camp pushing bottom, and they're going to get another one. They have both win lanes open and nothing pushed into the top lane. But they're going to go for that camp after all. Trying to figure out what they can do to end this. They just know that if they win another good team fight, they can just pretty much walk to core. They want to try to get as much of the match pressure as possible. If they can get catapults going in this top lane from this fort falling, then that'll just be all the more pressure that the red team is going to have to wait for. Red team is going to respond in kind with finally finishing off this last fort for themselves and see if they maybe want to push forward. No, it looks like they're going to opt for the camp. But red team is already on the keep gates. I don't think they have enough time to be just standing there. This is a camp pushing with the full camp pushing with them. They do end up backing, and the Mephisto ult does miss, and it looks like they're trying to disengage now. They do get out okay and successfully brought basically the whole team back to base. This allows them to get the objective in top lane, shoot for the objective in middle lane, and try to get a capture, but it looks like red team is going to be denying that. They're going to get there in time, maybe? Yes, most definitely. They're not even going to get to start channeling. Alright, now we have a possibility of a game of merry-go-round as each team tries to swap between lanes into the lane that they do not control and try to regain control of this map. Both teams' forts are down on both sides. We have a lot of pressure getting built up on the bottom lane. Blue team is sitting here waiting. Both teams weary of each other without being able to see where each other are on the map. Nobody actually needs the experience since both teams are on the globes, but they do get the swap onto the ETC, and the CC follow-up does blow him up to almost no health, but he gets out. Johanna takes a lot of damage on her side as well. Samuro is in the back line trying to get as much damage as possible, get them off of the team. Mephisto goes in, but is not able to do enough, but he does get a one on the next one, but this light bomb follows up, and Raynor destroys him. Follows up again. Johanna barely gets out alive. Raynor does go for get another kill, and that swap onto the ETC, this might be lights out for both of them. It actually ends up just being the Artanis so far, but this follow-up does end up getting the ETC. The pole does save her from the death mosh. Another excellent sleep on this Raynor keeps Anna alive, and she gets out of there. But it looks like the team is already getting prepared for this Dragon Knight and trying to push for the end. Ming is prepped in middle. Sylvanas is actually going to try to get the bottom shrine. She does manage to get it, and now she's going to be in a 1v2 situation here. She does manage to slip past for a second, but she's taking a lot of damage. She does get teleported far enough away to not get hit by that repulsion from Li Ming. Johanna here is ready for that Dragon Knight and is going to be right-clicking that core in order to try to get this win, but it looks like the red team is too late. Anna tries to go in for the interrupt, but is not there in time. They do have a camp pushing in bottom lane as well, so they are going to push in this top lane with these two cannon minions to try to end this game as soon as possible, and no more throws tonight. Dragon Knight is right-clicking the core, and that is a lot of damage. This is a level 23 Dragon Knight. There's a lot of damage going into him, though, so it actually goes down. The Death Mosh on the back from after Li Ming wiping him out. Light Bomb comes down but hits no one. The swap doesn't hit anyone either. Blue team is trying to end, but it's just a disaster. They're going to go back onto the core anyway. Get that damage going. The shields were not fully back up yet. There's a lot of return damage going in by these Mephisto. But they do manage to get the kills, and they keep on trading. But oh my goodness, the Mephisto plus the Samuro just does so much damage onto them. However, they did get a return kill onto the Samuro, and they're still going to try to siege this core. They have 2 catapult minions as well as 2 giants hitting away on it, and even though they are dying, it looks like that is GG. Alright. Well played, Tiny Dancers. Good try, Boogan squad. Whew. Another spicy game. You'll love to see it. Once that map opened up for both teams, it was another ball game, and it was just basically who was playing who. That Bush standoff was pretty good until Artanis was just like, I've had enough of this, and swaps the ETC and forces the fight. So that was Dragonshire. Alright. Get the next game loaded up here. Again, these are replay casts. These teams played on the 15th, and we're unfortunately unable to get it casted, so I am making sure that that gets done. It's a good experience for me to get used to casting. I hope the teams appreciate it as well. They all seem to be very happy. Great bunch of people. Again, this is a Nexus Gaming Series. You can find them at nexusgamingseries.org. Join the Discord. Find out what's going on, even if you aren't in the actual league. There's even positions that you can play. If any players or players are unable to make it and teams are in need of substitutes, there are always options for that. So you don't have to fully commit to a team. You can just play competitively every now and then. So, let's fix this up. So the next map is Towers of Doom. Let's go ahead and see how we got there. So as you can see, we started out with some map bans: Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spire Queen by Tiny Dancers, while Alterac Pass and Infernal Shrines was banned out by Boogan Squad. And then we had the first map pick was Dragonshire. I'm not sure who was, but I just put a pick sign there so you can see it. It was in fact won by Tiny Dancers. And so we are now going to be going to Towers of Doom. We'll see if Tiny Dancers can close this one out, or if Boogan Squad can come back and try for the reverse sweep. Alright. So let's head on over there. On the left side, for Tiny Dancers, we have AG Silver AG on the Garrosh, Liddell on the Zool, Feldroth on the Vala, Fishing Queen on the Kelthas, and Miriam on that Anduin. We have Bummernot on the Malthael, Camp Bellas on the Rainer, Thundercats on Stukov, Tom Peace on the Diablo, And oh no, it's a Medivh. Non-champion on the Medivh. I wish the player's name would be over the bird. Alright, so it looks like we actually have a role swap here on Tiny Dancer's side. AG Silver, I believe, was the Artanis last game. Or the Artanis was the offlaner. But it looks like he is the main tank this time. Looks like Red Team opted to try to get a start in mid lane. Malthael is here to just collect the wave and go then soak top wave soon afterwards. You see Malthael here has picked up on a Pale Horse. That's going to give him very good potential to double soak and match the Zul. We see that a lot in these games as people like to double soak top because the bottom lane is such an important lane that you almost can never leave it. Oh my goodness, looks like we're going to have a gank here on the Zul with the Medivh portal in, and they were able to flip him and keep him out of there. They didn't even take very much damage on the other side and was able to heal it all up. Zavala's going to be in a little bit of a risky situation here, but she's fine. They do end up starting on these sapper camps that are very important for controlling this map. Medivh is going to scout that out. So that's going to give them the cue to start on their camp as well. Hopefully they'll clean it up as much, and they know that they're coming in. Diablo comes in for the push, and it looks like he's just going to get thrown out. They're protected, by the way. He does get silenced, and he gets a portal out. Almost brings a bomb to his team, but they do manage to get out, and they do actually secure the camp as well. Blue team is just not able to get into there. Tiny Dancers were just not able to get into there. I need to use the team names more. Doesn't help that my overlay doesn't show up in-game. We've got both sappers here. Both teams are trying to wipe them out, but we've got Raynor getting pushed back. He's got the protected and the portal, but he's not. Oh, he almost did not get out of there. That CC, and then it looked like he might have misclicked the portal. Getting a lot of spread damage going out here, but Stukov is able to heal it all up. Diablo tries to go in there and is getting stunned up, taking damage, and gets thrown in again. Without his Q, he's not going to be able to get out quite as easily. He does end up spreading the bomb, and that's a very tiny portal in order to try to save them. Nobody ends up taking it, though. A lot of trading damage here. Diablo is very chunked out. He is not tanky yet. He needs those souls. As the first objective is coming up, looks like we've still been having the double slope happen into top and mid lane. Looks like they had a disconnect. And oh, betrayed teammates. Wow. Oh, and this flip into the Vala, but she's gonna be okay after all. Portal to get them out. Medivh is in a lot of trouble here. She does end up getting the protected. Garrosh almost gets one shot, but ends up getting pulled out of there, but the Vala not so lucky. Malthael does end up going down. I believe that was a... oh, never mind. Ooh, the Medivh actually gets into bird form just in the nick of time. All of Red Team is so low here, and the amount of CC is just way too much for them, but they don't have enough follow-up damage either. They're still trading back and forth, fighting over this last bell tower, or shrine. We do get another delay, but if he tries again, that could be very risky. Looks like the team is going to end up giving it up. They are all just way too low for this. Bjersh had to back. Anduin was in base. Alright, so currently it is an advantage for Boogan's squad. But we'll see how long they can hold that. Garrosh chooses not to flip him. And the Medivh just keeping an eye on the enemy team, allowing them to get skill shots. Boogan is going to be clearing their camp. Garrosh is going to not let that happen quite so easily. Does end up throwing the Rainer in. He gets protected and portaled out. Going to be seeing that a lot, most likely. They do push the team off of the camp and secure it for themselves. They were able to intercept one of the minions, and it looks like the minion wave is actually going to intercept the other one, so that's quite unfortunate for Tiny Dancers there. They were able to secure it though and keep it from their enemy team and get their own so that they can push those in. The wave is now here. They are getting it prepped to clear. Diablo getting thrown in here, gonna get queued out. Garrosh actually positions him so that he couldn't queue out to back into the towers. And these sappers are definitely gonna be going in. Once again, it looks like both solo laners are just opting to safely trade on both sides. Diablo was taking a lot of damage, but the protected saves him. Now with the entire teams on either side here, they're going to be looking to try to get these objectives. Diablo is very low, but so is Garrosh. They do manage to get the bottom tower, or shrine. Diablo's going in and he ends up flipping to actually get out, and does get out with the portal. The team's looking to try to suppress their strength on this, and there's actually no interrupt going in. It almost goes through, but it does get hit by the flames from Diablo. We've got a stun into a flip, and he's still fine, but he's getting low. Oh, and then the Rainer was taking a lot of damage. The Zul actually does end up going down, and Vala is way too far up. With that kill, they actually end up getting the channel off of this. Boogan looking like a different team now, with this Medivh action going on. It's still fairly equal, but in favor of Boogan. They are level 10, but so is Tiny Dancers now, so it's going to be alt on alt battles from here on out. Blue team trying to push in this wave. Red team is actually going to have the Medivh help with mid wave so that the Malthael can get that top camp. Looks like there's no damage on the left side, but a lot of damage on the right side. Those skeletons are helping with the siege a lot more, so it's kind of in favor of him during these rotations. If he can, it looks like he's going to be able to safely clear the sappers as well, so that's not even going to get to his walls. We have mid walls kind of equal on either side. Looks like the teams are actually going to go into this, but he does not end up getting the Diablo combo down, but it didn't even matter because Garrosh is in just way too much being body blocked. So much follow-up damage there. They do end up taking a lot of trade damage, but they were able to walk away just fine without losing anybody and getting a favorable trade. And with Garrosh down, no one can step up to this sapper camp, and they're going to be taking this for themselves. Malthael is actually taking a lot of damage in mid. He's going to have to back off there, and both teams are likely going to opt to just trade these unless one thinks that they can stall long enough to get advantage in there. Looks like Boogan is going to try to press their numbers. They know that they're in the lead, so they want to try to hold this lead for as much as they can. They do get their channel off and are in position. He does get a stun onto the Zul. Takes a lot of damage from the KT, but ends up getting, and then he gets flipped and rooted, and he's in a bad spot. He's getting stunned by the Vala as well, but the protected by the way. Malthael actually ends up going down, takes way too much damage, but the Anduin is getting low himself. Zul actually does get the root on the Diablo, and Vala finishes him off and scares the rest of the team away, and they're finally able to get this channel. Looks like Vala is even going in to get the kill onto the Medivh as well. That's going to be a full reset on stacks. Unfortunately, I didn't actually look to see what the stacks were. Oh wait, I can't on there. That's right. Alright. Oh, I can on here though. Yeah, that's where I should be looking now. Duh. Looks like Garrosh is going in, trying to get as much space created. Ooh, that stun from the Vala was perfectly timing to interrupt that Diablo Q, followed by his ult being basically useless. It did hurt the Garrosh a lot because he was taking so much damage, but all of that health is back up. This Vala is stepping up so far. She is not scared of this enemy team. Looks like they're going to be trying to get this fort pushed down. It's all on its last legs. Without a minion wave coming in, it's not going to be too easy. They do have another one coming. Garrosh does throw the Rainer in and gets the taunt off with another CC. Oh my goodness, the CC trains are on rails to dying. It looks like they are going to be, with that kill, securing this tower for them. And now with this objective being in bottom lane and both towers being owned by the blue team, they are going to be in a great position for this, but the tower is going to come up before the objective starts. They're going to be able to start sieging it a little bit, but they don't have a minion wave, so they aren't going to get enough damage and are going to opt to go into mid lane and stop them from getting any more there. We did secure the towers there, trying to get a little bit of damage on it, and they do end up getting the channel. Steve is just scouting out, making sure that nothing crazy happens, gets the team to go out of the way just in time to avoid another Garrosh taunt and stunt throw. You have a big wave pushing into that tower, getting it whittled down as much as they can. Finally getting some damage up top, but Zul just clears that wave so fast. Vala now trying to get the camp while the rest of the team protects this tower. Looks like red team is actually going to opt to look for there, and they see that the Vala is on there alone, so she's going to have to back up. However, the rest of the team is here to help her, and Stukov was actually in a very bad situation, but he does end up getting out for now. He's got protected and portaled. This Garrosh is in a lot of trouble, but the Anduin does end up saving him. Oh, and the Stukov does actually go down to the Phoenix Fire. So now they're going to be looking to push in this tower, trying to see how much capturing they can do. With them being here, the other team is going to be distracted, and instead they're going to just let this tower fall. Looks like they're going to be rotating up to try to do the same on top tower. Trying to get for that 6th cap. Red team did manage to get there in time to prevent the sappers from going in, but it doesn't look like they're going to get in time to recapture one of these for at least one shot to go through from this 6 cap. Who knows, it may be fast enough. No, and the sapper does end up going in and getting wasted on the tower, unfortunately. So we now have a 6 cap situation going on with Tiny Dancers, and they're just going to start taking a lot of damage. That's 2 shots going in from the sappers, that's another couple shots from there. They did end up getting a single channel, so that gives 1 damage, but this is not looking good. I think this is going to be close to it. They did manage to get back that tower down bottom though, so it's not over just yet. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of damage going in on there though. The Malthael got locked down and could not play the game. The Anduin ult tries to save them, but it only can do so much. The Garrosh is now the only one in the front line, but he does get pulled back in, but the Last Rites does end up finishing him off. They did get the channel during all of that, however, so the red team is now down to 5 health. If they did not capture the tower down here, they would have been in boss kill range. So because of that, the blue team is opting for the camp instead to try to recapture this tower. Looks like red team is trying to recapture their mid tower as soon as possible, and it looks like they're going to be able to get that in definite time, so they won't get 6 capped again just yet anyway. Sappers do go in, and it's going to make this tower go down extremely fast, but they are not going to be able to finish it off because the portals allowed the enemy team to get there in time. Diablo is looking for an angle to get a charge into a wall, but he is not able to get there fast enough. Malthael ends up going back up top. He was rotating down to try to help with that, but wasn't able to get that there fast enough, even with his level 1 talent. Routine still continues to try to get onto here. Stukov is stepping up yet again, but he gets thrown by the Garrosh. Stukov is not on the same page as the rest of his team, but he does get saved by that Medivh. Ends up throwing in the Vala, who gets the stun, and the Protected at 80 health. Less than 80 health. Wow. He actually walks away from that. So if the team can actually get this tower without any of the sappers being used, they could end up trying to push those in. There's a lot of damage going out on both teams, but none of it is sustained onto the blue. Everybody on the red is now low as they're trying to protect against this last altar phase. The altar gets a nice stun onto the Anduin. He's in a lot of trouble, but the Vala ends up taking out the... Wow, oh my gosh, Vala is just unloading on the back team, just completely being left alone. Oh my goodness. As a Vala player, I love to see that. Just letting you go onto the back line without any help. And that is going to be it. GGs are thrown, and that is the end. GG's Tiny Dancers for your domination victory. That's an extra point for scoring and boosts them up even further into the standings and to secure their #1 spot. I'll tell you what, this team is looking pretty dominant. Let's go ahead and switch back here. All right. Another great series. Another good batch of games. These competitive teams are clearly in it for the win. Okay. So that's gonna do it for me tonight. Thank you everybody for coming by. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to try and support your NGS teams, and make sure you check out their website again at nexusgaming.org. Again, I am Plur Ninja. Hope to see you guys around more often. I'm going to try to do more casting like this in the future. I had a lot of fun doing it. My stream itself is not so great, so I don't think I'm quite ready to pick up any live games, but happy to do as many replays as possible. Again, I'm always welcome to any sort of feedback. And once again, GG's to Tiny Dancers and Boogan Squad. Congratulations on your victory, Tiny Dancers. And I hope everybody in the Nexus has a great day.